this course is for primarily, I mean, I've got four different types of targets that that this course would fit for really well. The first one is business owners. You know, I've read this quote. I can't remember if it's Jack Welch or which one of those people said it, but they said, or Peter Drucker said it. He said there's only two things that help a company grow. It's marketing and innovation. And really, innovation is great, but without marketing, nobody knows about what it is that you have. So business owners find themselves, they may have a passion, they may have gone out and started a business, and it may be humming along at a certain rate, but not really accelerating the type of growth, or they're not receiving the type of growth that they'd like to receive. So they're kind of in a situation. They may not understand marketing, and if they don't understand marketing, they certainly don't understand digital marketing, so they're kind of left hanging out in the wind. Now they have the option of maybe going out and hiring somebody that understands marketing or digital marketing to come in and help facilitate that within their company. But because of their lack of knowledge, they don't really know if that person is doing anything that's effective or not. And they kind of have to believe the story that's sold to them by that marketer. And in case you didn't know, marketers are really good at telling stories and really good at helping those stories seem compelling. So this type of course, if a business owner came in, took the course, they'd be able to have a really good general knowledge of all the working pieces of internet marketing. And not only that, but they'll walk away with the skills to be able to test and prod and make sure that the story that they're getting is true. And they'll have a substantial knowledge base to be able to hold that up against and make sure that it is going to be effective in the direction that they're going. The next market would be marketing professionals. We experience this a lot in our business. There's a lot of kids that go to college and they may get out with an internet marketing degree or whatever it happens to be, and then they'll come and they'll interview with us and they'll tell a really good story, and we'll bring them on staff and realize that they know almost absolutely nothing about internet marketing. They've learned a bunch of tactical information over time so they can talk the talk, but when it comes to blending it all together and making it a real world solution that they'll be able to put out there for their business or for the company that they're working for business, it doesn't work that well. So if somebody happened to come out of school, they could take this course and they would be able to really bone up on their skills and actually go out and execute in the workforce. We had 9 people that took our first class, and we just found out today that one of them got a job immediately, and they said the reason they got the job was because of this class. So that was pretty impressive stuff. But also there's marketing professionals that exist out there in the traditional world, the people that do the billboards, the TV, and the radio, which is becoming less and less effective because it's such interruption-based marketing. Well, those folks are in kind of an area where they're in a segment of the marketing industry, but they're becoming less and less relevant if they're not increasing their knowledge base to be able to understand how digital marketing impacts that and actually be able to identify the intersection between digital and traditional marketing, because they do work really well together. So those are some of the skills that we can teach them. They may have all of a sudden been with a company that they've been working with for a long time in the traditional space, and all of a sudden that company went away, and they're finding that they're not very marketable out there in the job force. So what are they going to do? They could take a class like this and be able to, within a 2-month period that the course runs, wake up and go, wow, now I've got these skills and I can go out and have conversations and make myself be a viable candidate because I understand the framework. So we can take an existing marketing professional and make them better. The next are entrepreneurs. To be able to go through a course like this and have a skill set, entrepreneurs are those people that have a million ideas, right? Well, if an entrepreneur who has all these ideas finds himself coming up short on the execution side, wants to take a course like this, at the end of that 8-week period or 9-week period, they're going to have a tool set to bring with them to be able to take their ideas that they have, run it through this process, and be able to identify whether it's even a valid idea to pursue. So if they do get beyond that, I've got tons of ideas stage, and actually find the ability and the motivation to follow through, now all of a sudden they'll be able to kind of mitigate their risk a little bit because they'll be able to do some testing with the processes that we teach in this course. And at the end of that process, come out and go, this is a very valid option. This is something that we should do. And it happens all the time. And the last one is career seekers. And really, career seekers fall into a number of different categories. You think, I mean, if you guys obviously talk to a lot of people out there that are in career development and they want to increase new skills. But how many people are in their mid to late 40s, early 50s that have been in an industry perhaps for their entire adult life, and all of a sudden maybe they worked for Kodak and now they don't have film anymore. I mean, there's so many positions and so many people that find themselves in a career position where it's gone, and all of the skills that they've acquired over the course of their life are not as relevant as they used to be. And that's a really difficult position to be in. So they're forced with the situation of I need to retrain myself immediately or develop some new skills so that I can bring value to the marketplace and become employable again. And there's more people out there than we could even count. I mean, I'm sure there's percentages. I haven't looked them up, but I know there's a lot of people in that situation. So if somebody like that came here versus going to college with the proposition, even going to a junior college, you've got 2 years of school to be able to develop marketable skills to go and potentially get a job. But you're sitting there in a classroom next to all those other people that are in the same exact position for 2 years. And that's really tough, especially if you've never been in a learning environment since you started your job 30 or 40 years ago. It's a really difficult proposition. Well, now all of a sudden we've got something where literally within a 9-week period of time, you can build marketable skills and be able to go out there and be relevant. Now, you aren't going to be the best at it, but let me tell you, the majority of the people that are working in marketing positions around the country aren't very good at it anyway. They're just kind of playing the game. But we're going to give you solid tools, solid information, and a proven process that you can follow or that these people can follow to be able to add those skills and become marketable again. So that's one segment. There's other people out there. This is a statistic that I read all the time, but 81% of the people in the workforce in the United States today are unfulfilled, which means that they're unhappy. So how many people can go to a job, spend a third of their waking hours in it, hate it, but they got to pay their bills, and they're going to go home and that's not going to negatively impact their life? It's going to negatively impact their life significantly. I just read a book called Brain Rules where they talked about that. They talked about the direct relation to education to home life for a child. Because if your parents are bickering like crazy at home, the student goes to school, they're not going to be able to pay attention. And then the parent, and it's this big vicious cycle that goes over and over again. So why should they continue to be in a career where they're unfulfilled? Maybe they're making some money, but why not pick up some skills and be able to apply them to something that you love and find a career where you can actually capitalize on that? So those are the different types of target markets that this course is designed for. And there could be a number more, but I would say these are the ones that fall right into that sweet spot.